Now, I've been using TV backlights for probably about 3 to 4 years from a specific brand, which I won't mention right now because we're talking about something brand new. If you're looking for something that is simplistic and minimalistic, but will give you some outstanding performance when it comes to TV backlights, I think this is something that you should pay attention to. Now, the main reason I said yes to this product is because I was kind of like a little bit tired of having a camera sticking out from my screen, whereas this product will use the input from any of your devices, such as your Xbox, your PlayStation, your TV streamer, or anything that has an HDMI output that you want to be displaying for your TV. This will take it. And before I said yes, I said I am going to check this product out and see if it really is something that I should be putting on my channel and I should be highlighting to you guys. Now, this video is sponsored by FancyLEDs, and they did send me this product to review, but as I said to them, I always give 100% true and honest opinion with no filter. Now, in the past, I have looked at some of these products, and what's held me back was the fact that the output didn't match the input. For example, if you're running 144 Hertz from your gaming system, it will go into the sync box, but then it would output something different. Whereas now we have this contender on the market and it does a really great job. Now, in addition to the fact that the output from this will match your device, is the fact that now we have a lot more simplicity. Now, when I say simplicity, you might be thinking to yourself, what is he talking about? In my experience, I have used a lot of these products on the market, and what I found is the applications have so many options, so many ways of setting up the device that sometimes it's more than you need, and then you end up not using them. Whereas this product keeps it simple, does what it says on the tin or on the box. Now, talking about on the box, let me show you what you get inside the box itself. So you get some nice simple packaging that's nice and clean, and on the back it will tell you all the information about what is actually inside the box. Now, you can install this on your Apple or your Google devices. So you get the manuals, then depending on what region you're in, you'll get a specific type of plug which you can add to the adapter. You get the main unit itself. So behind this, and here we have the LED strip, which I'm going to talk to you about a little bit more because it is different to what you've probably seen before. You get a high quality HDMI cable, and you have these corner brackets for the LEDs, and then you get the power brick. So that's everything that you get in the box. So what is this sync box? Now, the sync box allows a feed from any of your devices, such as your gaming systems or your streaming devices, to replicate the color of the LEDs, which you're going to stick around the back of your TV, giving you more of an immersive experience. Great for gaming or watching TV, or just to add some additional lighting to your environment while you're watching the TV, which reduces strain on your eyes. Now, one caveat to highlight is that any of the applications that you have built into your TV cannot be used with this sync box. You are going to have to get some type of streaming device, such as a gaming system or a dedicated streamer. You can pick these up really cheap online, and they add a lot more functionality than what you do get on your TV anyway. Now, the device can take up to 3 inputs, so you could have 2 gaming systems and a streamer all going through there, and you can just switch over from one to the other. Now, the fact that you do not have a camera sitting on the top of the screen, which is one of the reasons why I've jumped to this, is that you are not going to get any lag with this device because it is super quick and processes the data from your device straight to your TV without any noticeable lag. So the box itself gives you some nice minimal type of branding, and in the back you have all your inputs. You have a couple of buttons on the top, and then you also have a display right here which will show you any of the devices that are on or off. So in the back of the device, you get your power input, you get a USB-C, which is for your LEDs. You have 3 HDMI ins and 1 HDMI out, which goes to your television. Now, the LED strip that you get is an RGBW and has 96 LEDs per meter. Unlike some of the cheaper devices that are out there that will mix the colors to try and represent white, but never really gives you that white color, this strip has a dedicated white LED in the same LED that it has the red, green, and blue, which is something worth noting because you do see it when you are watching and you're trying to create real, true, cool whites. Now, this kit comes in a variety of different packages depending on the size of your TV. So you got 24 to 55, 56 to 65, and then a 70 to 95 inch screen. So make sure if you do order, you make sure you order the right size. Now, one of the great things about this is that the LEDs go completely around your television. Unlike some brands where they have like a connecting cable between the top strip, the side strips, and the bottom, this one will go completely and continuously around your TV. So once you get to that point where the LEDs meet up on one side, you can then actually trim the excess LEDs that you have left, which means that that size difference between, for example, a 56 and a 65, you're just actually using more of the LEDs rather than stretching out a cable that then causes some dark patches or dark spaces in a representation of the backlight. You're not going to get that whatsoever. Now, one thing to point out, which actually happens on almost all home automation type of devices that connect to your Wi-Fi, is that you can only connect at the 2.4 gigahertz and not the 5 gigahertz. Now, the initial setup of the Sync box is going to require you to download the FancyLEDs app, but once you set that up, get it installed, it connects seamlessly, and you can also connect it to your Alexa devices and get some additional functionality in terms of the automation. Okay, so I've spoken about simplicity, so I want to show you the simplest part of it, which is the install. So now we've got the device all installed. What I want to do now is show you what the app actually looks like. And when it comes to simplicity, it really is simple. And I really like that because it takes away me trying to do many things that I don't need and focuses on what this is actually made for. Now, if you want to connect this to your home automation, you have the option to choose Alexa or Google Home. Now, one of the interesting things about this setup that I haven't seen on any other setup before is the fact that you can actually manage the saturation by easily choosing low, medium, or high. And then we have this great additional tool, which is called the Ambient Backlight. Now, with the Ambient Backlight, you get 3 options. So you can have it off. So if there are any scenes that are dark or black, the LEDs will turn completely off. Now, if you want a little bit more light in those situations, you can have it on the mix. When you have colors on the screen, and then in the black areas will turn white, or you can have a complete white ambient background for your viewing preference. And also with a slider underneath, you can set how strong you want the ambient light to be. You can have it really low, or you can turn it all the way high and have a brighter viewing atmosphere. There are other options as well to choose your inputs. So you got 1, 2, 3, so you can select them from the app, or you can manually use the buttons on top of the device. Now you have another option on here which allows you to adjust the color parameters. So if you want to adjust the color balance of your LEDs, maybe there's too much red or too much blue, you can go in there and adjust that. So in addition to red, green, or blue, you have the ability to adjust the white. So if you want more white in your shot, you can add that, or you can take it all away, or you can have it midway. So all of that allows you to adjust your colors and also your white balance as to how you prefer it. Okay, so now you've seen the product, you've seen how it works. Let me give you my pros and cons. So first things first, there is 0 perceptible lag, which means whatever happens on the screen happens on the LEDs at the back. So you get a full immersion because it syncs with everything that is on the screen. Now the RGB diodes make a genuine visible difference with color accuracy, especially in HDR content. Now all 3 inputs on this device are HDMI 2.1 inputs, which means there's no compromise on multi-device setups. Now another thing to highlight is that this has variable refresh rates and a auto low latency mode, which is great for PS5 and Xbox users switching between 60 to 120 Hertz dynamically. You get everything that you need in this box, so you don't have to go hunting for anything else on Amazon. It's all in a kit. It also has CEC integration, which means turning off the TV means turning off the backlights. So no fuss, no need to go into the app and no need to touch the device. And for peace of mind, you get a 2-year warranty with a free hardware replacement for defective units. Now moving on to the cons, I gotta say the app is probably the weakest thing about this device, but as I said before, if you want simplicity, then this shouldn't be an issue, but I think the app could do with a little bit of upgrading, which will probably happen over time anyway. Now the auto switching between the HDMIs can be a little bit fiddly at times. I've seen it once, maybe twice. Now to connect this to your home automation, it does run on the 2.4 gigahertz, which is a really crowded network frequency, but I have probably like 50 devices on my network and don't have any problems whatsoever. Now, as I said, if you depend on the apps that are built into your TV, this is not going to work. There is a workaround to that, and that is to buy yourself a TV streamer, such as the Amazon Fire Stick, which will give you everything you need, plus some more. Now, one last thing to highlight is the fact that because this is a continuous LED strip, getting around those corners is going to be a little bit tricky, so you have to be a bit careful. So at the end of the day, I think this is a great device. I'm going to leave it on my TV. I'm not going to go back to any of those other devices. So if this is something that you're thinking about purchasing, make sure you use the link in the description, and I will see you in the next video. So for now, peace.